The handcuffs clicked. The entire lecture hall froze. Min-jae stood beside his desk, eyes wide, wrists locked in steel. A police officer announced, "Kim Min-jae, you are under arrest for hacking the university financial system." Gasps, phones rising. Whispers spreading, and in the front row, Ji-hoon, the principal's son, watching, but something about his expression wasn't confidence. It was fear, and that fear would matter later because this wasn't the full story. 3 days earlier, Min-jae had been invisible. Scholarship student, top of his class, worked evenings delivering food to pay rent. He didn't have connections. He didn't have power. Ji-hoon had both. Expensive watch, new laptop every semester, special access to administrative offices. When the university's financial system was hacked and scholarship funds were almost transferred overseas, investigators traced the login. Student ID, Kim Min-jae, case closed, too closed. But there was one detail no one questioned, not yet. The hack occurred at 12:12 a.m. Min-jae's dorm swipe card showed he entered his building at 11:50 p.m. So how was he logged into the system after midnight? Someone claimed remote access, but the campus firewall rarely allowed that. Someone had helped the hacker, or someone had framed him. And one person in that classroom already knew the truth. The next morning, Principal Park held a press briefing. "Our university stands for integrity," he said firmly. No student is above consequences. He didn't look at Min-jae. He looked straight ahead. But Ji-hoon stood beside him, silent. That silence was important. Because 2 nights before the hack, Ji-hoon had approached Min-jae in the tech lab. "Can you help fix my login? It's glitching," he'd said casually. Min-jae agreed. He always helped classmates. That decision would cost him everything, but the mistake that exposed the real criminal wasn't made in the lab. It was made afterward. Professor Han couldn't sleep. Min-jae didn't fit the behavioral profile of a fraudster. High GPA, clean disciplinary record, no suspicious financial activity. He requested the raw server logs. Not the summarized version the administration provided. What he found changed everything. But the most important clue wasn't in the login trail, it was in the security footage. At 12:12 a.m., someone entered the tech lab. Hood up, face low, the camera angle was poor, but when the figure adjusted the sleeve, a gold watch reflected light. Professor Han froze. Ji-hoon wore that exact limited edition watch daily. Still, that wasn't proof. Then came the server override logs. The hack bypassed 2-factor authentication using an administrative clearance code. Only 5 people had access, for faculty members and Ji-hoon. Because his father trusted him with back-end access for internship training, the login didn't originate from Min-jae's laptop. It originated from a campus terminal rerouted through his student ID. The ID had been cloned. And it was cloned the night Min-jae helped Ji-hoon. The disciplinary hearing packed the hall. Min-jae stood alone. Ji-hoon sat beside his father, confident, until the footage played. The gold watch flashed on the big screen. Whispers filled the hall. Then the forensic expert explained the admin override, the rerouting. The cloning timestamp. Silence. Principal Park's jaw tightened. He turned slowly toward his son. "Tell me this isn't true." Ji-hoon didn't answer. Because he couldn't. But here's what no one expected. Principal Park already knew. 2 days earlier, Professor Han had shown him the evidence privately, and he asked for time. Time to handle it internally. Instead, he accelerated Min-jae's arrest. Why? To destroy the evidence window before a deeper audit. To protect his son, the betrayal wasn't just from Ji-hoon. It was from the highest authority in the school, and that revelation shook the room more than the hack itself. Police returned to campus. This time, they didn't walk to the back row. They walked to the front. Ji-hoon stood up slowly, Handcuffs clicked. The same sound, the same hallway. But this time, no one whispered. They stared. Principal Park resigned that evening. Not just for misconduct, but for obstruction. Min-jae returned to class weeks later. No announcement. No apology ceremony. He walked to the front row. Sat down, opened his notebook. Professor Han paused mid-lecture, nodded once. That nod meant more than any public statement. Justice didn't erase humiliation, but it restored truth, and sometimes that's enough. Power tried to bury the truth. Connections tried to rewrite it. But evidence doesn't care about status, and lies eventually collapse under their own weight. If this story reminded you that truth still matters even when the system seems stacked, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And stay with this channel, because some stories deserve to be told until justice wins.